Good evening. I'm at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, so I'm not on my road of trees and so forth. And I'm staying here tonight so I can get up and be in court to argue at 9:30 in the morning on behalf of chronic pain patients that I represent, who are petitioners in the case, seeking to have an opportunity to argue why their doctor should not have his authorization to issue scripts denied him, and how they're suffering as a result of it. We'll see how that goes. The Thomas Jefferson weather report would be it's about 72 degrees in here, and outside it's about 40 or something like that, so it's not bad. The Edward R. Murrow portion of this is to talk about where do we stand, and it'll be brief given the other things that I'm paying attention to. But I think it says a lot that Stefanik could be considered even for a moment as a possible vice president. I mean, when you're considering that Trump, and my grandmother would say something, God bless his soul, that Trump is of an age which suggests with the burdens of the office, should he become president, she might become the president. And that would be a terrible outcome given the limitations this woman suffers in terms of leadership and judgment about the policies and issues and how we deal with America. So she is apparently, and has been apparently, prepared to say anything to ingratiate herself with Trump. The second thing that comes to mind is what's happening before the court in connection with the Carroll case, and whether the judge will lean down on Trump should he appear to testify, and should he get lost in his testimony to say things that he has no business saying and shouldn't be saying. I got a kick out of the lawyer who was, she thinks she was cross-examining Carroll when, among other things, she not only couldn't get evidence in, but she asked her about Elaine's restaurant. Elaine's restaurant was a great, club, restaurant, and a collection of political types, actors, actresses, writers would gather there. And because Elaine Kaufman was an all-hands-on-deck kind of person, for whatever reason, particularly in the 1980 period when I was working on Ted Kennedy's race to become president and to replace Carter. Apologies to those who loved Carter, but I thought at the time Ted was the guy who should be president. And I thought that while Carter turned out to be a great former president, I thought he had real compromised positions as the president. So the question that she put was basically, was Carroll, a frequent visitor at Elaine's, which kind of shows the ignorance of people who don't get to go to these places because on some level or other they're already connected with them. And when I say I was connected with them, I was participating in the election, I was active politically, and I knew people in various campaigns, and Elaine just got a kick out of me. In fact, in an earlier wedding, we had the reception at Elaine's, and she had a 6-foot baked Alaska cake for the wedding. So what do I expect is going to happen? Well, I'm hoping that in New Hampshire, despite all the efforts to shut down the opposition of Haley, that the people get a chance to vote, and they vote strongly enough for her as to give pause to the Trump campaign. Now, I couldn't live with Haley as a president, and I don't think she's better in terms of policies and issues, but it's almost an everything but Trump kind of thinking on my part for how you deal with these things. And so this is my short report from a place with no trees inside. And tomorrow, perhaps in the afternoon, after I get back to my place out in the woods, I'll get a chance to walk among the trees. And if you watch the video of my appearance tomorrow, it's only 10 minutes. I've asked them to let me have 8 and save 2 for after the government speaks, and I expect that that's what will happen. And hopefully I'll be able to do something that helps the pain patients that I represent. So all the best. Good evening. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.